Okay, let me see how loudly you can sing. Okay, I want to see the energy again. So everybody please join in. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari louder. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Jaya Yashodanandana Jaya Braja Janaranjana Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Kunj बिहारी जय यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय यमुना तेरा वनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parijakacharya Ashtotra Shrimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Shri Radha Madhav Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna. I'm looking at the clock. We have roughly 40 minutes. I'm going to try and get through everything that I would like to cover. It's a very interesting and a very deep topic. We're going to be talking about some of the lessons that we can draw from Damodar Leela. It's such a beautiful pastime. And I'm sure you've heard, this over and over again over the last 30 days. We're getting closer and closer towards the end of the Kartik month, and this is a very, very auspicious and a very special month. So there's going to be some repetition, but at the same time there's going to be, it's always beautiful. No matter how many times you hear it, it's always fresh. So let's together, discuss, let's go through that and see if you have any questions, if time permitting, of course, and we'll take it from there. I was watching CNN yesterday briefly, and it seems like America has been hit by an epidemic. How many of you are aware of that? You are. Do you know what it's about? Opioid? Yes, the drug abuse of the drug, and it's getting so prevalent, and it's been declared as an epidemic. Actually, there are about 91 deaths a day in the US alone. I mean, that's a startling number. 91 deaths a day. And they're saying within the next 12 months, it's going to aggregate to about 500,000 deaths for opioid-related reasons alone. I mean, it's huge, it's staggering. 500,000. When 9/11 happened, I mean, we were completely taken aback, right? I mean, we were completely shocked when we heard about 2,000 to 3,000 people who lost their lives. We felt so deeply about them. And look what we're hearing now, 500,000 in the next 12 months. And this is just the US alone. And when these people were interviewed, some of these drug addicts, not the dead people, I'm sorry, the people who are, on the drug, some of them were, interviewed by the CNN folks, the team. And they said, are you aware that you can die? This is abuse of the drug. You shouldn't be doing it. And this could lead to your death. And guess what the response was? The response was, we're already dying. So what difference does it make? Almost a callous, careless attitude. I'm going to die. I mean, that's eventuality. We all are going to die. So what difference does it make? So they continue to indulge in this, and some of them out of sheer desperation, out of helplessness. They can't get out of it, even if you give them help. But they're lost, right? They know they're dying. They're not productive anymore in society. They're not productive in their lives. And who knows? They may have a day, they may have a week, they may have a month, they may have a few minutes, who knows? They're just on their way out. Now, I was thinking about, look beyond that. What about the rest of the world? I'm sure it's going to be a much, much bigger number. When you talk about 500,000 in the US alone, talk about the drug abuse that's happening, not just opioid, everything else. It's huge. So when that is the situation, think about the people who are living normally. I mean, death is inevitable. We all know we're going to die. But are we actually hitting that pause button? Are we actually stopping to see? Are we making a difference? Are we doing anything differently in our life that will prevent us from coming back? Right? As Prabhupada says, real intelligence is to realize that we are all suffering and that we are held prisoners in this material world, which is nothing but a prison house. We can be in different bodies, we can be, we can have the best house, the best spouse, the best car, best job, best whatever. But nevertheless, we're still in this material world. When this life is over, we don't take anything with us. And guess what? If we haven't done well enough, or we've done too well in a material sense, we end up coming right back. And that's inevitable as well. Right? The scriptures already tell us that. So no matter what, we're in the prison house. Yeah, some of us are going through life much better than the others. So, I mean, take the example of, some of the celebrities who end up in jail. We know some of the high touch politicians back in India, for instance. They're taken to jail as well, put in prison. But guess what? They have an air-conditioned prison with a television set and everything else, all the amenities. I don't want to take any names, but this is a fact. Yes, but at the end of the day, even though it's a first-class cell, it is still a part of the prison, right? So that's not hitting us. We're in this material world, we're leading these lives, we have our own lifestyles, but at the same time, we're a part of this prison house. We're incarcerated, and we're in this body. And the worst part is, depending on what we do, and we'll talk a little more about this as we get into the rest of the lecture, but depending on what we do, we could or may not even come back in this human body. Leave alone this body, a human body. We may not even come back in that body. And very clearly, the scriptures tell us that it's only in the human body can we reason, can we use our intelligence, and we can do something to avoid the karma that comes along with us. The karma that we create from all the activities that we perform. And that's the basis for us whether we are going to come back or not. Right? So we need to change that whole thing, that whole paradigm. Okay, that's basically what I'd like to focus on for the rest of the half hour that we have, and draw from some of the lessons from the beautiful Damodar Leela. There are some very, very important lessons, key takeaways that I would like to share with you, and for all of us to take that, internalize that, and make a difference in our lives. Okay? I noticed some of you are pretty intensely looking at the picture on the right. So notice that poor chap? Yeah, what's going on? Anyone? Ah, that's right. He's perpetually going around and he's falling, and the guy, by now he must have broken his head 1,000 times. Poor chap, ouch. I'd hate to think or be in that situation. A lot of broken bones for sure. And he's falling. Now what can he do differently? Sorry? Did I hear someone say stop? Yeah, he could stop falling down and do what? Stand up? Okay, good. And then what? And then go up. Wow, that's good. Brilliant. Yes, so he can go up, but what will happen? Since he's perpetually in this falling role, now he's standing up and he's walking around, he's climbing up, like you said, but now he's going to be climbing and climbing and climbing, and then what? He's going nowhere. He's perpetually climbing. He's not going up. Do you see him going down completely? No, he's still on the same spot where he started. So if he's climbing, he's going to climb back to the same spot. It's a paradox. What you're seeing there is a visual aberration. It's a paradox. He's not really going up, he's not really going down, he's just going in circles with a lot of pain. Right? So he's not really going up. At some point in time, he's just going to get so tired and so weak, he's going to get dizzy and he's going to fall, and guess what? He's going to be back to this situation again. Right? Yeah, this is how life is. It's an illusion in a sense that it tries to pull us in direction that we're not supposed to go. Entice us with material, comforts here and something good here, something good there, and get us into this crazy spinning wheel, and then we lose our heads. We're just going spinning round and round and round and round, and we're spending all this time, so much material effort in terms of what we should not be doing. Right? We're expending all of this energy that we're doing in everything that you can think of. And we'll cover some of these things as we go. But that's what happens. So without spending too much time on that, we'll get more into how we can break out of this cycle. And that's why I'm calling this the Great Escape. Because we need to figure out a way to break out of this perpetual cycle of birth and death. Right? And Damodar Leela gives us some of these brilliant lessons to take away that we can apply And surely, by internalizing and by applying them sincerely, I'll guarantee you, it's guaranteed for us, not by me, don't trust me, but Krishna himself says how he can get us out of this. He personally will get us out of this perpetual cycle. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shubha Shubha Falerivam. And again, feel free to, recite along with me or after me. Shubha Shubha Falerivam. Mokshasya Karma Bandhana. Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma. Vimukto Mam Upaisasi. Can't see too well at my age, but I'm going to try. So, in this way, the translation, according to Srila Prabhupada, in this way you'll be freed from bondage to work. I think it's easier for me to read from here. In this way you'll be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you'll be liberated and come to me. This is from Bhagavad Gita 9:28, and chapter 9 is the most confidential of the entire Bhagavad Gita. So if you look at the entire Mahabharata, the most central and confidential part is the Bhagavad Gita. And the most central and confidential part of the Bhagavad Gita is in chapter 9. Okay, so even if you don't read anything else, if you find the time, sit down and read chapter 9 in the association of devotees, so you can really absorb, because there's so much that you can glean from it. So let's talk about Damodar Leela. We'll do a quick recap here, right? Everybody here is familiar with the Damodar Leela, right? There's no one here who's hearing it for the first time or anything like that. Okay, good. So Krishna is a baby boy, and he's lying on his bed, and he wakes up. First of all, he's looking for his mother. He doesn't feel his mother on the bed right next to him. And neither can he, he's looking for Mother Yashoda's breast so that he can have some milk, and he's not able to find that. So he wakes up, he opens his eyes, and to his dismay, he finds that he's alone on the bed. And in the distance, he can hear a jingling, and he can see Mother Yashoda there. She's actually churning the butter, right? She's making butter out of the milk there. And he's kind of surprised. He's like, how did my mother just leave me like this? And, she's doing her own thing. So he quickly gets out of bed, runs, and in one swift move, he's able to stop that churning stick, and he's able to, embrace Mother Yashoda, settle in her lap, and then he starts to suckle. So he starts drinking her milk. She's in complete awe. She's thinking, oh, my son has grown up. Look how strong he is. He's even able to stop the churning of the stick. I mean, I'm using all my effort. And while she's doing that, she's in complete absorption of her son, her darling son, right? So she is singing, and she's singing tunes in glorifying her son. And she's thinking very fondly about him. Her earrings are swaying to and fro. Her bangles are going back and forth with the churning. So it's all creating. It's a very musical, very wonderful, blissful time that she is completely absorbed in. And then she has Krishna suddenly coming to her, and now Krishna is, drinking her milk. She's basically she's nurturing him. And so going through this, everything is pretty blissful at this point, right? Within a few minutes, there is milk that is actually boiling on the other side of the kitchen. And the milk there, now keep in mind, everything in the spiritual world is Chinmaya, right? So everything is fully conscious. So the milk is also conscious. So our acharyas tell us that the milk is thinking, oh my gosh, Krishna is drinking all the milk from Mother Yashoda, And so he's going to get fully satisfied, and that's going to be the end of this whole thing, right? What's going to happen to me? I'm sitting on flames, I'm putting myself through all this austerity, and he's not going to even look at me. His stomach is going to be full, and he's going to say, Mom, I don't want any more, right? So this is going through the milk's mind that is boiling, and keep in mind, this is not ordinary milk. This milk is very, very, very special milk. A little background, right? So some of you, most of you may already know this, but for those who don't, for your benefit, Mother Yashoda is going through this whole endeavor, this whole thing, only because they have, she's faced with the situation where a lot of the gopis come to a place and they're complaining left, right, and center, saying, your son did this, your son broke my pots, he stole the butter, blah, 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 blah. So she's completely inundated with all the complaints coming from the gopis, and all to do with her son and all to do with the son stealing in different places. She's just thinking, why is my son doing this? Am I not giving him all the love? Am I not giving him everything that I can? And yet he has to go and do this? So I'm going to do this all by myself. So I'm going to make the best possible butter ever. And so she sets out to do this by herself. She actually has 100 of the topmost cows within Nanda Maharaj's 800 or 900,000 cows. They're fed with the Sugandha grass, the grass that is most fragrant in Vrindavan. Okay? So that grass is fed to these top 100 cows, and from the milk from these cows, she then takes this milk and then feeds the topmost, which is the Surabhi cow, the milk. And then milks the Surabhi cow to use that in preparation for the butter that she plans to give to Krishna. So she's going through all this effort and so much endeavor that she's put into it, so much planning, and she's also very determined. So while she's doing this, this is the milk that is boiling there now. Back to the situation here, right? So the milk is boiling out there, thinking, oh my gosh, Krishna is going to be fully satisfied, not looking at me, and is going to completely ignore me. So the milk says, I'm going to commit suicide, and starts to boil over, right? So now the milk is boiling over, and now Mother Yashoda notices that and says, she doesn't say anything actually, she drops Krishna. That's the mother's reflex, right? She's seeing this milk which is so important for her. For whom is she making this? She's making it for Krishna. And then the milk is going to get wasted? She's not going to let that happen. So she just keeps Krishna down there and she darts straight to take care of that situation. Meanwhile, Krishna is in a bliss, right? He's in a blissful state, and he suddenly, everything's changed, and he opens his eyes. Again, his mother is nowhere to be seen. She's disappeared. So this time around, Krishna gets very upset. He gets very angry. He's like, how can this happen to me? She's my mother. I'm her darling son. How can she do this to me? And so he gets up and he starts sulking like... A lot of you people, a lot of us know what that means, right? What sulking really means. So he's sulking, he steps out of the room, he goes into the other room, the next room where all the pots are hanging from the ceiling, all the butter from that Mother Yashoda had already made. And then he just takes a few stones, starts throwing them, he takes a few sticks, starts banging them, breaks these pots, and there's butter flowing all over the place. It's a complete mess. Now the mess part of it, most of you are very familiar with, right? With your children. So now Krishna does that. He doesn't stay, quiet with that. That doesn't appease him yet. So he's now walking through the butter, throwing it around, and then he takes some of the butter, he takes a broken pot with some butter in it, and he goes to the veranda, and he starts feeding the monkeys. He said, okay, you think it's for me? No, it's for you. Come here, take. So now he has all the monkeys clamoring for the butter, right? So the Vrindavan monkeys. Yeah. So they're all there giving him company, and he's having a gala time. Meanwhile, Mother Yashoda has finally figured out, oh, okay, this situation is under control. Let me go back to Krishna. So she comes back. But Krishna is not there. And then she goes looking for him, and then she goes to this room where she sees butter all over the place. And guess what? Krishna is nowhere to be seen. But then this little criminal has left a lot of evidence, right? He has these tiny little footsteps that are going all over the place in the milk, in the butter. So she follows the footsteps and then starts to get to the veranda. And when she gets to the veranda, she sees Krishna standing on a stool or something where he's throwing butter and feeding the monkeys. She's completely lost it by then, right? She's like, I'm doing all of this for my baby Krishna, and look what he's doing. So she looks for a stick and picks it up and says, as a mother, I should do the right thing. As much as I love him, I need to go after him. So she goes after him. In the corner of his eye, Krishna watches this, right? He notices that his mother is charging at him, and she's not smiling. She's serious. So what does he do? He drops everything there and he goes scrambling. And Mother Yashoda is chasing him, and he's going faster, and Mother Yashoda is running faster, and Krishna is running even faster, and Mother Yashoda is running even faster. This is going on, and they're out in the yard, and everybody is wondering what's happening. What's happening between this mother and son? Mother Yashoda is chasing Krishna. She loves him. She won't let anyone even point a finger, and here she is running around with a stick behind him. Something is wrong here. So, the gopis are all bewildered. They're like, what's going on? Something is seriously wrong here. And Krishna is running faster and faster, and Mother Yashoda is running faster and faster. Now, remember what I told you. Everything is Chinmay in the spiritual world. So the flowers that are sitting, that are beautifully strewn in Mother Yashoda's hair are thinking, oh my gosh, we're slowing her down. Let's do something to help her out. So the hair comes loose, the flowers fall, she's perspiring like crazy, and she's running behind Krishna. And Krishna is watching all of this, and he says, he's thinking to myself, look how much my mother loves me. But up until then, he's in total fear. He's in genuine fear. I mean, he's like, I'm going to get beat up real big time. Can somebody help? He's shouting for help, crying for help. But no, Mother Yashoda is going at it very seriously. So he's very, very, very scared. And if you think about it, Krishna is the Supreme Personality, right? He is the Lord of all creation. He is fear personified, right? And here he is in complete trepidation. He is in complete fear. He is genuinely afraid that his mother could come and beat him with that stick. And at the same time, he loves it. It's totally inconceivable. When you think about it, this is the Supreme Personality, and here he is running from his mother in total fear, right? She's trying to get a hold of him, and he can run faster than anybody. I mean, he can run faster than the speed of mind. But here he is, he has his mother, who is much older to him, running behind him, and he sees how fast she's running and how much effort she's putting in. But then he feels like, hey, I need to somehow take care of my mother. Now, the internal energy, the external energy, all the energies that Krishna is the supreme controller of, they're all, standing up and saying, are you out of your mind, Mother Yashoda? Are you going crazy? You think you can actually catch our Lord? You think you can actually bind him? Impossible. But then the Kripa Shakti that is in Krishna comes out, right? So he's looking at his mother struggling so hard and endeavoring so hard. So he's like, no, I need to do something. So he slows down and let her, get the better of him. So this is very inconceivable for us, especially at this point. So she manages to actually tie him to, something that was lying there, which happened to be a motor, right? A wooden motor. And once she does that, she is now, okay, when I say that, she finds the motor, she finds some rope to tie him with, and now she goes around, but she's falling 2 fingers short. And now we've all heard about this, right? She's always falling 2 fingers short. So the gopis that are looking, they feel so bad. On the one hand, they're saying, oh, my poor Krishna is getting, chased like this. He's getting tied to a motor. No, this is not right. But on the other hand, out of sheer respect for Mother Yashoda, they're obliged to help her out. So they go find some ropes. Whatever the ropes they can find in their place, they bring them very quickly to Mother Yashoda. So Mother Yashoda is tying knots and trying to create a bigger rope. And she's going around Krishna and she's trying to tie him. And again, she falls 2 fingers short. So this is happening till they finally run out of ropes. I mean, there's no rope left. There's no string left, no thread left. So Mother Yashoda is getting even more determined. She's like, I want to tie him down at any cost, right? So she is going through that emotion. And Krishna sees that, and he sees how much she's perspiring and how much she's endeavoring. So he obliges. He allows her to tie her up. Now, keep in mind that Krishna has always been in the mode of protection, being the protector, right? Even in chapter 5, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram Suhardam Sarvabhutanam Gnatva Mam Shantam Richati. Krishna is basically, he is the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices, right? Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the supreme controller of all the planets, of all creation. Suhardam Sarva Bhutanam, but he is also the ultimate benefactor for all living entities who take his shelter. Right? We've heard so many numerous examples. I mean, I obviously cannot go through all the examples, but what come to mind right now, if you look at how the situation that Draupadi was in, while she was being disrobed in this full assembly of the Kurus. The Kauravas were there, they were demeaning her, the elders were there, the teachers were there, Bhishma Dev was there, the grandsire. Her husbands were there, right there, they were helpless. I mean, can you think of the situation? It is such a terrible situation. None of them could do anything to help her out. And these miscreants were only making it worse by, saying all kinds of very nonsensical things and doing bad things. So Krishna was there to protect, right? Similarly, when Gajendra was going through a similar situation, for 1,000 years he was fighting this crocodile. And then he was constantly in absorption of the Lord. He was offering some wonderful prayers to the Lord. So what did the Lord do? The Lord actually came there in person. He came and he took him with him. He came on his personal bird carrier Garuda and took Gajendra with him. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, he was thrown into the pit with poisonous snakes. He was thrown into a pot of boiling oil. He was pushed off of a cliff with a big rock tied to him so that he would sink in the ocean. I mean, these are just a few of the things, right? He was thrown into a fire so that he would burn. But Krishna was always there to help him and protect him, right? So the protection that is given by Krishna, there are numerous examples, right? This is just a few of them. But when you look at the whole thing, here he is crying for protection. First he was chased with a stick. Now he's being tied to a motor, right? And that motor is way bigger than he is. And his mother is in a real bad mood. I mean, she's in a very ugly mood right now. So he's really crying out for help. Someone help, help, help. And here, he's the ultimate protector, but he's crying for protection. So this is something that is totally inconceivable, right? So this is the glory of Vrindavan, right? So only in Vrindavan, Krishna forgets his position as the Supreme Personality. You look at any of the pictures, you read any of the literatures, Krishna is having such a fun time with all the gopas and the gopis. He is playing in the mud. He's eating even mud, for that matter. They're climbing trees. They're playing games. They go into the forest together. No one is saying, oh, this is Krishna. Oh, this is the Lord. No, they're all playing together. And sometimes the loser is supposed to carry the other person. And Krishna deliberately loses so that, he can carry his friends. He carries Balaram. There's some of the most wonderful pastimes that you see in Vrindavan, where Krishna is completely immersed in that love and affection, and he's one among them. He's not like the Supreme Lord that we see in, let's say, in Dwarka, for instance, right? That awe and reverence is not there. It's just pure love, pure love. No one is really thinking this is Krishna. In fact, the residents of Vrindavan had to be reminded who Krishna is, really. From time to time. So there was a time when Nanda Maharaj, his father, Krishna's father, had broken fast at an inauspicious time after Ekadasi. Okay? So what happened? The Yamadutas immediately came. Wow. It's pretty severe. I mean, I can't think of it. And a lot of us, I don't know how many of us really follow Ekadasi to the T. But at that particular time, the Yamadutas came and held Nanda Maharaj captive and took him to Lord Varuna, to his kingdom. But when Nanda Maharaj arrived there in front of Lord Varuna was completely taken aback. He was like, he looked at the Yamaduta and said, "What have you done? This is Krishna's father, Nanda Maharaj. How in heavens did you do this? How did you make this happen? How did you bring him here? And why?" And then everybody recognized Nanda Maharaj, and everyone was, "Oh, Krishna's father, Krishna's father, Krishna's father," and everybody was paying obeisances. And Nanda Maharaj was in total stupor, right? He was looking around aghast. He was like, "Wait a second, are you all saying that my Krishna is God? Really? Really? Nah, that can't be it. This little boy who's running around naked in my courtyard, up to mischief all the time, stealing from others' pots, eating mud, giving his mother and father a hard time, he is really the personality of Godhead? No, something must be wrong here." Right? So these are the kinds of things. I mean, the pastimes that Krishna goes that he enjoys with the residents of Vrindavan is something else. He forgets who he is and he gives himself completely. Why? Because there's one element there, there's one component, main component, that's it, which is love. Unconditional love. It's not the awe, it's not the reverence, it's not the respect, it's not all of the various rituals, but it is the pure love that people, wholeheartedly, they want to feed Krishna. In fact, even it is said that even the gopis, they were actually happy that Krishna was coming to steal from them, because they were all the time asking to see or have Krishna's association. But that was Krishna's exchange with them. So that way he was able to fulfill their desires, so that he could go to their homes and have that interaction. It may not for us, it may not look like a pleasant interaction where you're caught red-handed stealing and you've broken some important pots. In those days, I don't think they had steel, right? Steel is something that came in here now. So those earthen pots were very valuable in those days. Okay, so these are the interesting pastimes of Krishna. Now, we have to keep in mind, therefore, that endeavor is important. It is super important for us to make sure that we're putting in the effort. But where we put that effort is very, very key. Putting in the effort always has, so performing activities like we do, has karmic reactions, right? There are pious activities and impious activities. You do pious activities, obviously you're going to get good karma. Right? I always say, who knows, you may become Aishwarya Rai in your next life. Or you may become Bill Gates, or someone, a celebrity in your life, in your next life. But then what you do with your free will at that point will determine what your next life is, or what could happen to you in the same life. Right? So similarly, if you do something bad, if you're practicing impious activities, those impious activities can actually have negative reactions, karmic reactions, that can pull you down. You could lose all of your wealth, you could lose all of your beauty, or something, right, in this life or in the next life. But the issue, one thing that will definitely happen is you have to have a material body to be able to effect those karmic reactions. This is a very important point. Please pay attention. For these reactions to take place, good or bad, you need to have a body. So you will be given a body. We all will be given a body, so that we can get these reactions out, the good reaction or the bad reaction. Okay? So that's where and how we get bound to this material world, which is really a prison. That's why it's a prison. Right? Now, over-endeavoring is also very bad. Right? So, atyahara prayasascha. So, over-endeavoring is also not good, because by over-endeavoring, you're using all of your energy in the wrong things. So you need to use your intelligence, and that's why this human life is so very valuable. If you don't use your time properly, you're going to be over-endeavoring and pleasing your boss, for instance, or pleasing your spouse, or pleasing your family, or pleasing whoever else, right? And whatever else that's taking up all this time. So there is what you see here is the story of King Nriga, where, he was a very giving king, very saintly person. He used to be very charitable, and he would give hundreds and thousands of cows in charity to the Brahmanas. So one time he gave several thousand cows to this Brahmana, and one of the cows turned out to be a cow that was given to a Brahmana previously, but carelessly drifted back into the herd, wandered right back into his herd. So he didn't know that. So when he gave the cows, no one knew about it. The Brahmana accepted it, but guess what? He had to face karmic reactions for that. And so those karmic reactions brought him back in the body of a lizard. That's according to the scriptures. Okay, so going to read this again. Neha vikrama nasosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. So endeavors, so whatever, in short, whatever endeavors that we put into our spiritual life, those will not suffer any diminution, right? So even if you're not able to perfect our lives in this lifetime, whatever we do in this lifetime, we take into our next life. So you start from where you left off. Now, how many of us here have gone to school? Okay, I still see some people wondering whether we should. I'm assuming all of us went to school, right? We all went to college, most of us. I don't see children here, but yeah. So the thing is, when we end this life and we come back in our next lifetime, where are we going to start? Are we going to start with a PhD? No, I don't think so. Go right back to square number one, right? You start from kindergarten. Right. If you're lucky, you'll be in UKG. Otherwise, you end up in LKG back in India. So yeah, then again, you have to go up, up, up. You've got to work your way up and then, do it. So, but in the spiritual world, in your spiritual life, your spiritual endeavors, there's absolutely no diminution, right? Now, let's talk briefly about karma. I know I'm running out of time here. And again, this is so interesting. There's so many things that I'd like to share. Okay, so karma, like I said, in King Nriga's case, karma is always watching. So Maya is there. She's, and the whole laws of karma are so complex. We really don't, even the severest of Google algorithms will come nowhere close to the laws of karma. They're that complex. And karma is watching us all the time. Don't think karma is not watching us. Even if you think you can hide it from your spouse, believe me, that itself is very difficult. As you may already have experienced it. I don't usually go on Facebook, but when I do, I look for, some interesting things. And what caught my attention was this little kid all bashed up and banged up, bandaged, and, and all kinds of things, and blood and all of that stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, this poor kid's all beat up. What happened? So it was actually a picture that his father had posted of his son having won the first place in the fancy dress competition. So I said, what kind of a thing is this? And the caption was, I picked an argument with my wife, and the rest is history. So a good lesson there is don't pick an argument with your spouse. Please, don't. You may not survive it. So, even if you feel your spouse doesn't know about it, karma is there, and karma is saying, I saw that, I saw that. The children are not here, but I'm sure that, the children may be thinking, oh, my parents don't know about it, but even for them, karma applies, right? So karma has no menu. You get served what you deserve, right? Karma doesn't differentiate whether you're rich or poor, white or black, brown or green, it doesn't care. Karma will be there. You get what you deserve. And karma has no deadline. It can happen right away, or it can happen 5 years from now, 15 years from now, maybe in your next lifetime. But it will happen, for sure. That's for sure. And that's one of the reasons why we think, this person is such a useless person, but he bought a lottery ticket and he won 50 million. How is that possible? I'm working day and night. I'm doing everything. I'm coming to you, Krishna, and I'm praying every day, but you're not giving me anything. You're giving this useless fellow $50 million just like that with a $5 ticket? That's because his karma is playing in, And it can happen anytime. So there is no strict deadline. So, like I said, activities performed in piety will give you good karma. Activities performed in impiety will give you bad karma. And we don't realize. Sometimes we're, and karma is waiting there silently. What you think is a nice flat piece of smooth flooring can turn out to be a bunch of nails waiting to prick you, right, as you see in the picture. But here's the thing, if you do it with, perform your activities with a sense of detachment, then what happens? The beauty is, you're doing it in devotional service, where you will be completely freed from these laws of karma. And not only freed from the laws of karma, but you will actually get closer to Krishna. That's the important part, right? It's not just enough to transcend the laws of karma, right? Where you're not getting any karmic reactions. There's got to be some benefit. And what is that benefit? And that benefit is getting closer to Krishna. Because when you get closer to Krishna, what happens? Your love for Krishna grows, Krishna gets attracted, and you end up breaking through the cycle. That's what we're leading up to. Right? But here's the thing, right? There's something missing, and that's what we're leading to, which is mercy of Krishna. How do we get the mercy of Krishna? We're just, now we spoke about endeavor, right? We spoke about how we should be performing activities with a mood of detachment, or in a mood of detachment. But the issue is, how do I get the mercy of Krishna now? There are millions and millions and millions of living entities, millions and millions of living, human beings. They're all, performing activities. Some are doing good, some are doing bad. Some are performing devotional activities. Now, how do me, get that attention? How is that going to happen? It's out of my control. How do I make it happen? And mercy, by definition, is something that we don't deserve. So we have to do something to make Krishna see us, right? We need to do something that will allow Krishna to come to us. So this again cannot be a 9-to-5 endeavor. Please don't try that. It is something that has to be in us, in everything that we do, right? And I'm going to fast forward here a little bit, but basically, Narada Muni, that you see, that little boy there, is actually Narada, Lord Narada, in his previous life. And what he is doing there, you may not be able to see it very clearly, but he's actually sitting where all the remnants, the thrown away food is. And in the background, you can see his mother, who was a maidservant, and she owned this inn in the middle of the forest. So all the traveling sages and saints, they would go past, and for the night or for a few days, they would rest there. And she would cook for them, she would feed them, while little Narada would be playing around in his previous life. And he would sit and listen to them. And not just listen to them, after they finished eating, he would go out where they would, throw the remnants out, and he would actually eat from that. May sound, what is this? It's disgusting. How can this happen? But by eating the remnants of such pure devotees, and by hearing from such pure devotees, he was able to perfect his life. It's a long, beautiful story that goes on beyond this, where his mother dies and, he becomes an orphan, and how he perfects his life and how he comes back as Lord Narada in his next life. But talking about how does mercy happen? Shushusho Shraddhadharansya Vasudeva Katha Ruchi Syan Mahat Sevaya Vipra. No. Yeah, Punyatirtha Nishevanat. So basically what happens is, just by hearing from pure devotees, one gets that taste to listen about Krishna. We need to get that taste. For us, for most of us, in fact I can speak for myself, that taste is missing, right? It's almost like an artificial, I got to put that effort in to get that taste. I see all these wonderful devotees who are not thinking about prasadam and are sitting here listening to me so intently when I'm talking about Krishna. That inspires me. So that gives me some taste. If I feel like, I should be spending more time thinking about Krishna, Lord Damodaras. This is such a beautiful month. We should be thinking and spending more time doing that. So, I know I'm running out of time. Mataji is here. But again, fast forward. Krishna says in one of these verses, and I want to quickly, I'm not going to quote the Sanskrit here, but he says, but for those who worship me, giving up all their activities unto me and being devoted to me without deviation, engaged in devotional service and always meditating upon me, having fixed their minds upon me, O son of Partha, for them I am the swift deliverer from the ocean of birth and death. Okay, so there's no guesswork here. This is Krishna himself saying it. We don't have to listen to XYZ now, right? This is Krishna himself saying it. And this is coming, since it's coming from straight from his lips, we don't even have to second guess here. There's no ambiguity. So in summary, right, both mercy and endeavor. So those are the two fingers that Mother Yashoda was always short of, right? The little string that she was short of in terms of being able to tie Krishna. Our acharyas tell us that those two are basically mercy and endeavor. So we need to endeavor, and we need to, with that endeavor, we can call and request and cry for this mercy. Now you will hear a lot of people, in India especially, say, when mercy comes, we'll think about devotional service. I mean, after we turn 70, we retire, our children are all married and everything. All our loans are paid off and blah, blah, blah. We'll think about it. Mercy has to come. We're too busy with everything else. But no, that's absolutely wrong. We should start now. Now is the time. If we've already lost so many years, let's start now, right? And how is that going to happen? We have to beg for mercy. We have to cry for mercy from the Lord. It's not going to happen just like that, right? And one thing we need to understand is, if we love Krishna from our hearts, absolutely be rest assured that he is completely conquered by his devotees. He just completely gives himself, as we've seen from the pastimes of Vrindavan. Right? So if I ask some of us, can we drop everything and for the next 6 hours, let's sit here and do japa? I will guarantee you there'll be only a handful of us left. Talking of which, yesterday there were a few devotees, wonderful, wonderful devotees, who chanted not 1 or 2 or 3 or 16 rounds, but they chanted 192 rounds. They started at 12:01 in the night. So let's give them a loud Haribol. Haribol! Yeah, so when I came in the afternoon, they were doing their 152nd round or something like that. I was completely taken aback. So that's the kind of love and passion. Now, I'm not saying that all of us should do it. No, please don't take that as that. What I'm saying is, let it not be artificial. Let it not be forced. It has to come from the heart. Okay? And lastly, when he was tied to the motor, he didn't just stand there quietly. Again, mischievous Krishna wanted to, show his mother that he could do other things. So he dragged the motor along and he just moved. And as he moved, he came to two big trees that were standing there for many, many years, ages actually. And these trees, that's where the motor got stuck. And Krishna just pulled. And what did the motor do? It brought the trees down. And when the trees came down, these wonderful personalities came out. And who were these personalities? Nala Kuvera and Manigrava. Who were they? They were the sons of Lord Kuvera. Kuvera is no small personality, right? The biggest of the biggest gods of demigods would go to him for loans because of the wealth that he had. So these sons were in a state of intoxication when they were noticed by Lord Narada. And Lord Narada always goes when people are really falling, really down. He's there. He arrives in time, on the spot, perfect timing. And these two gentlemen were, they were not gentlemen, they were actually behaving badly, and they were naked, they were with women, they were, intoxicated. So Lord Narada said, okay, fine. Very mercifully he cursed them. It almost sounds like an oxymoron, right? There's no such thing as a merciful curse. In this case, he cursed them mercifully and said, you know what? You'll become trees. But guess what? Krishna will come and save you. He said that and he went away. Now look at Krishna. Krishna, to keep the promise of his devotee, he did what he did, right? After all these ages, and look at this. Now, the moment I say, okay, prasadam is being served, we'll do some japa and then head out. In fact, my lecture is now 10 minutes overboard. people will get up and start drifting towards downstairs to get some prasadam, right? But if you're in a body of a tree, you can't do that, unfortunately. You have to stand there. You have to be there. And it's not for a few minutes, but for ages you have to be in that tree. So that's what happened. Now, the acharyas say, is it Krishna who delivered them? Yes and no. It is actually he pulled the motor, and the motor came to these trees, got stuck, and brought these trees down with a crash, a loud sounding crash. And from these trees came out the liberated souls, right? So the acharyas say that the takeaway from this is that be that motor. All you have to do is follow in the footsteps of Krishna. Follow his principles. And you will be certain to not only liberate yourself, but liberate others as well. So you'll be empowered to do that, just like the motor did. So with that, I'd like to take your permission, and hopefully you've got some very helpful takeaways. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Sri Vallabha Prabhu. Please give a big Hari Bol. Thank you. So, in this month of Kartik, as repeatedly we have been announcing, any devotional service that we perform, we get multiple benefits. Krishna is unlimitedly merciful in this particular month. So many devotees here in this congregation who are assembled here and who are not here has come forward to support this temple project, the temple we are going to build here for their lordship and for the community. So next week, this Sunday feast time, we are planning to do a donor recognition day. So Sunday feast lecture will be very short, and we want to recognize all the devotees who have come forward to support this temple project. And so we want to invite each and every one of you, those who are donors, those who haven't yet done so. We want all of your participation. It's a very special event. We have been waiting for this for quite some time. So we want to thank each and every one of you. We have pledge programs. You can donate for a few years in installments, or we have tile programs, and Shyam is standing here, and to take advantage of this opportunity, you can get information from him. And we once again want to express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who have participated and who are wanting to participate and support this temple project. And we are in the heart of Naperville. We are here to serve you, and that's our only goal. That is, serve Krishna, serve all of you. So please talk with Shyam, and he will be able to provide you with additional information. Today's Sunday feast is sponsored by 3 families, Tejas Patel and family. They are celebrating their daughter's birthday. They are not here, I think, right? Sethuraman Babu and family, again, every month, almost every month, they sponsor Seeking Krishna's blessings. Please give the prasadam. Thank you so much, Sethuraman Prabhu. Extraordinarily, almost every month, Sethuraman Prabhu sponsors a Sunday feast. This is again a special service distributing Krishna prasadam to devotees. Chandramukhi Devidasi is seeking blessings for her departed sister Purnima. Chandramukhi is here, or Ravi Prabhu is here. Thank you so very much. And for the spiritual upliftment for all these families, kindly chant Krishna's holy names after me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And you all know this is the month of Damodara, so there will be this ceremony of singing Damodara Ashtagam and lighting of lamps. And Amrita Kelly, I just have a quick question. Are we planning to do the grand finale of this Damodara month on the 5th of this is coming up in the next week? Are we planning to do that? The final day of the Damodara month? I thought I saw some emails. But we will be publishing. So actually this Sunday, this is the last Sunday you will be lighting the lamp, but the final day is 5th, right? 2nd? Is it 2nd, 3rd, 5th? November 2nd is the last day. That means during this coming week, that will be the last day of Damodar month. And so we were planning to do a grand festival that day. Everybody can come and light the lamp, and this year's opportunity is gone. You know, this is a special opportunity. So please come. And following this is Damodara worship. And after that is Prasadam downstairs. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna. And Sunday feast slots are open for next weeks, and you can contact Abhay Prabhu for the same. Thank you very much.
I cleaned that room.
Throw it away.
Except the Ram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyolu Kaladavamanam Param Rustamatyanta Todrutya Gopya
Yashoda Biyolu Kaladavamanam
Rustamatyanta Todrutya Gopya Rudantamonnetram yugmam rujantam Karamboja yugmena satankanetram Munnetra yugmam rujantam Karamboja yugmena satankanetram Mushvasakam patrirekangkakanta Stita graivam damodaram bhaktibadam Swasakam patrirekangkakanta Stita graivam damodaram bhaktibadam Iti druksvalila birananda kunde Swagosham nimajantam akyapayantam Drishvalila birananda kunde Swagosham nimajantam akyapayantam तदीयेषिताग्नेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमातस्तं सता वृत्ति वन्दे येषिताग्नेषु भक्तर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमातस्तं सता वृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षं स्वधिं वा न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरे सदपि न चान्यं वृणेऽहं वरे सदपि इदन्ते वा पूर्णता गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य विरष्टं किमन्ये देव पूर्णता गोपालबालम् सदा मे मनस्य विरष्टं किमन्ये इदन्ते मुखं भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या कम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलै स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्य विरष्टमलं लक्ष्य लभ्ये मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तादरं मे मनस्य विरष्टमलं लक्ष्य नमो देव दामोदरनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलब्धिमग्नम् दामोदरनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलब्धिमग्नम् कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दिनं बतानु गृहान्निशमामग्नं यदि यक्षिदृश्य कृपा दृष्टिवृष्ट्याति दिनं बतानु गृहान्निशमामग्नं यदि यक्षिदृश्य कुबेरात्मजौ बद्ध मृत्यैव यद्वा त्वयामुचितौ भक्ति बाजकृतौ च बद्धमृत्यैव यद्वा त्वयामुचितौ भक्ति बाजकृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकमे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेह प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकमे प्रयच्छ न मोक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरेय नमस्तेऽस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयाय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमस्तेऽस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमस्तेऽस्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदराय विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयाय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयाय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय नमो राधिकायै त्वदीयाय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् Namo Radhikaya Tvadeya Priyaya Monanta Lilaya Devaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Damodara Radhe Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Radhe Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo Radha Damodar Ki
Oh, yeah. To the Supreme Controller who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge. Okay. Huh? To the Supreme Controller who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifested himself in Goloka, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storerooms, and who then quickly jumped up and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, but was unlimitedly caught to the Supreme Lord. Sri Damodar, I offer my respectful obeisances.
Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick, and as Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes, he shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, who is bound with his devotee's love, I offer my humble obeisances.
Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drown the inhabitants of Gokula in pools of ecstasy. To the devotees who are attracted only to his majestic aspect of Narayana in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. To the Supreme Lord Damodara, my obeisance is hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for liberation, nor eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon. My only prayer is that your childhood pastimes may constantly appear in my mind. O Lord, I do not even want to know your feature as Paramatma. I simply wish that your childhood pastimes may ever be enacted in my heart.
O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like brimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences are of no use to me, but may this vision constantly remain in my mind.
Remain. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy upon me. Uplift me and protect me with your nectarian vision.
O Lord Damodara, in your form as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Alakuvara, who were cursed to stand as trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in this same way. I have no desire for liberation into your effulgence.
O Lord, the entire universe has created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with a rope by Mother Yashoda. To this rope, I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and your unlimited pastimes. Shri Radha Damodar Ki.